Hello everyone and welcome back to 4FS Gaming. In this video we're going to look at the end of one match with a couple of interesting fights, and I'm going to break down each decision that was made along the way, and hopefully you can learn something to apply in your own hunts. So here we are outside of the arsenal, and there's a team inside banishing. We're waiting for that to finish because we feel that another team is coming up behind us. Now I'm sure someone's going to ask how this prediction is made. Well, if we get to the boss lair early and the boss banishes early, probability simply says that there are likely going to be hunters coming in behind us, and because this is a corner compound, well, they can only come in from a number of directions, and we're in the northeast corner of the compound, so we'll encounter them from here. Now in this pause before I take the shot, I verify with my partner that he is ready to go, because after I take the shot, hit or miss, body or head, we are going to need to rush out and engage them, or we can get wedged between the bounty team and the external team, which is not what we want. It becomes quickly apparent that I am no longer useful from inside, so I push out with my partner, quite close behind him so I can cover him in the event that he gets hit, quickly clearing AI and taking suppressing fire. Notice how I quickly dip into concealment when reloading to break line of sight. This is really important when using weapons like the sparks. I hear my partner get hit, and that communicates to me that the enemy is about to push. I take advantage of that and line up a shot on the target moving in a straight line. So that was a simple enough team wipe. We then have to immediately reposition to ensure that the bounty team isn't pushing out. We can check that with lightning because they've both picked up. Establishing that it's safe for the moment, I go for a reload and I prepare for the next engagement. Now in a few minutes it becomes very apparent that this is one of those teams that likes to stay inside the boss lair. They initially pushed out because we were in a fight, but after that hit, they more or less disappear inside for a long time. This isn't exactly surprising because we know that they have a crowning king. We heard it earlier. When you hear a gun, remember who shot it, where from, what the gun was, because it will inform your tactical decision making. And so we begin to probe, we rotate around, we loot, we search for angles, we move our way in, we move our way out, we try for wallbangs, we throw explosives, the works. And we can't seem to breach from the outside. We can't kill them without going in. Now this is all very spread up, but I'll provide a bit of commentary as we go. So essentially looting and resupplying means that we're going to have more explosives to throw in or more ammo to wallbang with, which is really important at this stage. Rotating around, clearing AI means that we have just more options on the outside. Getting close to the building in a spot where they can't run out with a shotgun and shoot me allows me to listen to their footsteps, see where they are within the building, which informs future wallbangs and explosive throws. And then I get bored, so I go and kill a meathead with that guy's Romero. And they still don't do anything. This is actually achieving something. We're building up a psychological profile of these players. They don't want to push out. They seem a little bit scared, and that gives us confidence. More wallbangs, but no effect. And this is the point where we start to decide, okay, we're going to go in. How are we going to do it? I select this entry because, judging by the lightning, they're at the other end of the building, so I can sneak in and I can get sight lines that are out of range of any shotgun, just to see what the lay of the land is like inside. Maybe I can get a peek down one of the long lines here, but I can't. They're hiding upstairs, probably at the other end. We know that to push up either one of those stairwells at this point from down here would be very dangerous to do against a shotgun, so we come up with another entry point. We also make sure we close the sliding door behind us, just in case someone wants to pop out there. We'll get a sound warning beforehand. So we've selected this window, which has a sight line almost all the way down the building, and we can't see anything. We know that the lightning's on the other end, so it's safe to go in, presumably. Well, there's a trap. It doesn't really do anything, but it spooks my friend, and we jump out and we think, well, we need to wait for that to die down. It's too noisy, we won't be able to hear their footsteps, and that puts us at a disadvantage. We've been walking around this boss lair for a long time now, so I just spent a bit of time talking to the enemy inside, just telling them it's safe to come out. I'd kill the grunts, I'd kill the meathead, no more threats. They didn't respond. So this is it. We make our way in, and we start to move down the building to establish exactly where they are, using a combination of what we can hear and where the lightning is. Unfortunately, once you're in a building, the lightning is not helpful. You can't really see location on darksight with that. By checking these sight lines, we can establish that they are in fact in the western section of the lair at the top floor, and so we've narrowed them down to one room. But we don't have any frags left, so we have to get creative. Choke bombs can be really handy utility because they tell you where people are. And from here, we can make the push. Leading with a flash against a shotgun is a really good idea if you don't have explosives that are better, because it actually gives you a chance. After I hear the hit, we go. In a classic pincer movement, and my friend is taken out by the Crowner King. Okay, watch this. See this turn? And I checked the re-peek. A lot of people re-peek that. And that finishes the push. Notice that once I hit with the sparks, I was confident because I knew he's on 1 HP. Anything I do will kill him. The shotgun no longer really has an advantage. It's unreliable, as we can see then. It can kill in one shot, but it often doesn't, especially when someone's panicked on 1 HP, coughing and running around. I had a really good chance on the probabilities by going up those stairs and engaging with the officer. So hopefully you learnt something about my mindset when rotating into a boss lair, probing around, and eventually making a push. Could we have done it sooner? Almost certainly, but all of that prep time gives important information, mainly about the characteristics of the hunters that are inside. The degree to which they were passive let us know that a push against a shotgun-held lair was viable. Still dangerous, but we would never have tried something like that against a team that was moving around, trying to wallbang us from the inside, pushing out when we got too close aggressively. They're the kind of lair holders that are really dangerous. They bait you in, they get you impatient, and then bam, they pop out of a door with a Crowner King and you're done or shoot you through a wall. We weren't getting any of this from that fight, so we thought, probably risk the push. So thank you so much for watching, everyone, and an extra special thank you to our Patreon supporters. You guys are absolute champions, and I hope everyone's looking forward to the event later in the week. You may have noticed that I haven't posted on my other channel, Turning the Table, about board games for a couple of weeks. That's because I'm waiting for some new equipment, but that will be coming along shortly. If you haven't checked that out, you certainly should. Anyway, thanks everyone, and I'll catch you next Sunday.